Before this video starts, if you guys are not yet already in my Discord server, I do highly recommend you come over and join. We are so close to 100,000 members. Right now we are at 80,000. And if all of you from this video, you know, my community, join, we can actually build something pretty good here. My goal actually is to hit 100,000 members before the end of the year. You know, we have giveaways in here, general chat, self-promotion. You guys can come here, promote yourself, and grow as one. I will leave the link in the description. Yo guys, what is going on? It's your boy Fxtch here, back with a brand new YouTube video. And in today's video, you know the drill. Every single new season of Fortnite, it's kind of my duty to bring out this video to update you guys on these things, you know, give my opinions, give even pro player opinions. And in this video, you've read the title, I'm going to be telling you guys what I personally believe are the best custom and stretch resolutions for Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 5. Now, as I said, what I'm saying in this video is more subjective. Like, at the end of the day, morally, it all comes down to your own personal preference. But nonetheless, this video is going to help guide you guys on what are some good stretch resolutions you can be trying out and using. And it just allows you to almost experiment with the game and see what you like, see what you don't. And yeah, that's what I like about making these videos. You guys really love them and they really do help. Now, on the topic of helping things, if this video does go ahead to help you in any way, shape or form, the least I ask from you guys is that you drop a like for me. It takes 2 seconds. These videos take hours to record and produce. So all I ask for you to do is to slap that like button. If you want to go the extra mile, you can also subscribe to the channel with post notifications turned on. Therefore, you never miss an upload just like this on the channel. It's completely free. And again, really does support me that extra mile. It does help me grow. One that growing right now to 75,000 subscribers. And I've told you guys when I hit that, I will be doing a face reveal. So almost getting straight into this, what I'm going to mention first is that if you guys are to use custom resolutions, just first of all, do it correctly. So before we mention anything about what I believe are some of the best resolutions to be using, first of all, you need to be doing it properly, or at least creating resolutions properly. Like in this video, I'm not going to show you guys how to do it, but I'm going to just quickly tell you guys the best methods to use. And the best method to use is going to be taking advantage of an application, or I guess software, called CRU. Now, CRU is shorthand for Custom Resolution Utility, and it's like a little application or software you can download, which basically allows you to create custom resolutions on your PC. So away from your AMD control panels, away from your Intel control panels, away from your Nvidia control panels. You know, I know you can create custom resolutions on there, but the reason you don't want to do that and you do want to use the CRU method is basically because if you use the traditional old like OG method with the control panels, that can give you input lag. Like when lowering that resolution, changing it, the game will pick this up. It will naturally induce input lag and your game is going to feel really choppy and you're gonna have a little more latency to your game, which isn't good. It's gonna make your game feel terrible. And I know some of you guys are sitting there right now like, I know this, bro, I use CRU, I've seen Fxtch make a video on it, this and that, but you haven't done it correctly. Fxtch made it, and not to call him out, I personally love Jarian, you know, he's a goat, his videos are insane, but the last method of CRU he covered, so the tutorial of how to use it, although it is good and some of you guys may feel it is easier, I actually made a method myself, a video on how to use CRU, and I shown a different approach to it, which actually is better for your game's performance and how your game's going to feel. So I do highly suggest you watch that instead if you have not already. I will link that down at the top of the description so you can do that after this video is finished. But now, all of that boring stuff out of the way, the first resolution I'm going to highly recommend you guys use, this is going to be more of a stretch resolution, so horizontal stretch. It's going to be 1750 by 1080. Now, I know I've mentioned this in every single stretch resolution video I have ever made, but I just think it's the perfect stretch resolution. It's just got the perfect balance, literally. Like, it's not too stretched at all to a point where you're actually losing too much FOV and then you're getting more of a competitive disadvantage, but it's also like stretched, like it's perfectly in the middle. Like, you're gonna get that feeling of using like almost a traditional OG nostalgic feeling of a stretch resolution, and at the same time, obviously you're getting those advantages of, you know, you're lowering your resolution, you're lowering those pixels, and that's going to actually give you an FPS increase and a boost in performance. Your game will probably feel a lot better with stretch, and yeah, like it doesn't look too stretched, it's not too hurting for the eyes, and like you can even use this in content, you can stream with this and it's going to look fairly normal, but it's also not gonna look normal. It's so hard to explain this. I just think it's overall the best. It's a perfect neutral balance between both pushing away from the native but then not pushing away from it too much, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not the only one who thinks this. I literally made a tweet, I'll probably put on screen if I have not deleted it, but I asked you guys over on my Twitter, actually follow my Twitter if you haven't already. I post a ton of stuff on there for like about videos and stuff where you guys can interact with me for videos, video ideas, all of that stuff. So yeah, I highly recommend that. A little bit of a shameless plug, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I made a tweet asking what resolutions you guys are liking right now, and literally out of about 40 replies, I think 90% of them were people saying they enjoy 1750 by 1080. So it isn't just me who can recommend this, and also a ton of pros use this as well. So yeah, take that how you wish. And now moving on to the second resolution. Sorry if I stuck on that resolution a little bit too wrong, but it's going to be either 1665 or 1680 by 1080. Now this is more for you guys that prefer more of a stretch resolution. It's not a huge jump from the other resolution I mentioned, but there will be a difference, and it will be obviously more horizontal horizontally stretched. In some way also I didn't mention, but you do get advantage of potentially a better aim. The more horizontally stretched it is, your FOV is coming in, so the game's almost more zoomed in a sense, and also your character models are wider, so this can actually, I don't know if it's placebo, but your aim can improve. I don't think it's even placebo. Like, your character models are genuinely bigger, so it is genuinely easier to aim, like for the most part anyway. When I play Stretch myself, like I do feel with my like long range AR shots and also close hip fire shots, I'm hitting a lot more with, which is obviously a benefit. And of course, the more you're stretching that resolution, the more you lower that resolution in some sense, you're going to get more FPS boost and more of a performance boost with this resolution. But yeah, I don't know, I think this is just good to mention if 1750 isn't cutting it for you, like you don't feel like it's giving you maybe the performance increase you want, or it's just not a stretch. So yeah, it's an option. And now the third resolution I'm going to recommend, I should probably have put this at the start so it went in almost like an order, but this is going to be something that isn't as stretched. It's still stretched, but now this is pushing away. So you guys that maybe think like the resolutions in the 16 range, they are way too stretched, and the resolution in 1750 is still pretty much too stretched for you. You can actually try 1856 by 1080. Now I think this is more like there isn't so much of a difference. Of course, you're still gonna FPS increase, you can potentially improve your aim, your FOV will be dropping only like a slight bit, but this is like native resolution with a spice. Like after using this, it just feels like native. This becomes like your eyes just get so used to it to a point, like I know it happens with other resolutions, but your eyes get used to this one a lot faster. Like it really isn't that much of a change. Of course, it's going to be refreshing. It may help your gameplay and performance in some sense, but it isn't going to be huge. You still get that native feel and stretch resolution feel almost at the same time. It won't be of course as crazy, but some people don't want something like really crazy and stretched. They just want more of a subtle vibe, something they can use on recording, they can use on stream, and no one's going to mention it, because like you can literally use this resolution on a Twitch stream and no one's really going to point out. I know I said with the 1751 it's probably a similar situation, but if they're to compare it to another streamer, they will actually notice that. But with this one, 1856, it's like there really isn't much of a difference, at least when you're looking at it from like outsider's point of view. When you maybe go in between, so like just say you went back to native and went to 1856, you will see that difference. Of course, you are changing your resolution, but it isn't crazy. That's what I'm trying to get at. If you guys just want a subtle change, try this. And now last but not least, I think this is the fourth resolution I'm going to mention. This actually isn't a stretch resolution or quote unquote a stretch resolution. It's more just a custom resolution, and it's going to be something I actually mentioned in like a few videos ago. It's a resolution which increases FOV. I'm pretty sure it's 1920 by 810 if I'm not mistaken. I'll have like a correction on screen if I'm mistaken there, but I'm almost like 110% sure that is a resolution, or either way that works. There is a certain way you will need to set this up. You can't use CRU for this, and you also can't display scale, which is kind of an issue. You will need to use your GPU scaler, which can give you input lag. But again, this resolution, it's more there just for the FOV increase. Like you will get an increase of around 20 FOV, like somewhere within that margin. It's going to have that difference, and you will get a competitive advantage in the sense that you can see more, and of course you're going to see more of your game. There's going to be more around you, and it's basically like an FOV slider. Like that's literally what it is. Now also on this resolution, one thing I want to clear up, a lot of you guys were saying you don't get more performance boost or FPS increase with this resolution in particular, the more FOV changes kind of feel, or trying to get the result of more FOV. Unfortunately with this, because of course you are doing the GPU scaling, which is bad enough, like you're willingly inducing latency into your game. And not only that, with this, because you can actually see more of the game, like there's a wider FOV in a sense. Believe it or not, what that's doing, it's making the game have to process and render more of an image for your game, and like just render a lot more because the game's seeing more, if that makes sense. Like, of course, if you have less FOV, your game doesn't have to render as much textures because it can't see as much textures. But just say you stretch out your FOV and the game can see maybe a little bit more of a house, a tree in the distance, or a car. It's then gonna have to process the textures for that car and then render it, which kind of just makes your graphics card have to work harder. And as Fortnite CPU bound, it also will affect your CPU usage, and I mean, yeah, it can have a knock-on effect. It's kind of weird how it works, but hopefully I've cleared that up. Hopefully it makes sense. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but if you want to use this resolution, I know I said there was a certain method to it, but I actually dropped a video, like a full video. I actually did mention it, I just remember now. I did say like 30 seconds ago I made the video on it, but yeah, I'll link that down below if you do want to watch that and try out that resolution. But with that all being said, that is all I have in today's video. There really isn't much more to talk about. I know there's going to be a ton of guys in the comments right now like, what about this resolution? What about this? What about that? Again, these are my personal opinions. Resolutions I'm seeing pros using, resolutions I'm seeing a lot of other people recommend. And honestly, I just feel like these are the best, like most well-rounded resolutions based on what you want. Of course, I've gave you descriptions of each scenarios and situations where these resolutions will be best. And as already mentioned, it's like kind of based on the person. It's all subjective. Like at the end of the day, it's what you're looking for. You can go through and try a ton of resolutions, but this is meant to be a guideline. Just try out what I've mentioned and give them a chance. And who knows, you'll probably find something you like. But also, I'm not against you guys commenting some resolutions. So if you actually have something you like, if you're not going to comment it in a hateful way, like, oh my god, you should have covered this, you should actually just comment what resolution you use. I'm actually curious of what you're using, whether you're going to try anything in this video. It'd be nice to see that. I literally like, heart, and reply to every single comment. Like, I'm not kidding. Try me on it. I guarantee I'll show up and do it. But yeah, if you get to this point in the video, the least you can do for me, drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I hope everyone everyone enjoyed this video. I hope everyone also has an amazing day. It's been your boy Fetch, and yeah, peace.